Base resonator here. Well, this doesn't look like resin. What is going on? Well, got some UV resin here. This is a special video for my 500th subscriber to my YouTube channel. I said whoever was my 500th one would receive a video dedicated to that person and what they would like to see me do. And this is going out to Amanda Togood, who lives on the other side of the pond from me, over in England somewhere, or Great Britain. I don't know exactly where, so I'll just say Great Britain. But she challenged me to, because this was the year for the total eclipse of the sun. Sounds like from Little Shop of Horrors. Dadu. Anyway, so she said, why don't you have those molds of the different phases of the moon? Well, I didn't have those, and I'm not going to go out and buy them. So I decided to make some inserts, and those inserts will go into these molds that I have right here. And I'm going to be making 6 of these so that I'll have the different phases. And how I'm going to do this is I'm going to use the UV resin and trace around the black area, and then make inserts. And I'm thinking about making them druzy fashion so that it'll have a cool texture. And then you'll have to see where I go from there, because I've got some things in my mind, but I'm not going to surprise you with it yet. I'll let you try and figure it out. So this is going out to Amanda Togood and all my UK friends. Well, I'm back, and I changed my mind on the direction I was heading because the UV resin was not behaving like I wanted it to. So what I'm doing is I'm making a big druzy. I mean big, okay? We're talking about 13 inches by 13 inches. And I got stones in there, which doesn't matter. They're just going to give extra texture. But you see those little green things and purple and blue? Those are rhinestones. And they have, why you're seeing different colors is all of the little facets on them are shining a different way when you see them. So it's going to be fun picking those out, but it's going to leave a texture that's going to be really cool on those moons. That paper's just there just because I have it. No reason. But, yeah. So, let this cure up overnight, and then I'll continue tomorrow. Well, this turned into be quite some project. I'm cutting out my inserts now out of this huge mat. The stones were a pain in the rear to get out. I thought they'd just pop out like... I don't know, just a little marble and mud or something, but no, they were really not wanting to come out. But there was something that went on, because I had holographic window film, and I put it down so that I would have a holographic texture along with these holes, which are going to be the holes in the moon. But there was some type of chemical reaction that took place between the silicone and that stuff to where the final coating on this it never did gel up, and it was sticky. I mean to tell you, if you've ever messed around with fly strips and gotten stuck in them, that's what this was like. So those stones are now in soapy water to try and clean them all off. And I cut around the paper that I printed off, and those are sliced out of there nice and neat. But that paper stuck right there. I mean, it look right here. The paper has some of those little these little thingies right here. Man, I can't even remember the name of them. It'll come to me in the middle of the night. But I decided it was as much hassle as it was getting those stones out. I'm just going to leave those in there for extra color and extra texture on the finished piece. And what I don't cut out, I will save, I will wash it off, I will do something so that I can have it for future use, because this was not fun. No, I take that back. It was a lot of fun. It was not a clean fun. So, I'll get back at you soon. Well, there are my Eclipse inserts. Now I'm going to pour a layer of clear just in case anything gets underneath. I don't want it messing up this pattern. And then I'll pour, I think, a white over the top of that. Uh-oh. Massive catastrophe. I had a 13-minute video explaining the process of putting these things in, and my camera crashed, and the video went hasta la bye-bye. Good grief. Anyway, this is the Eclipse technique, if it works. If it doesn't, just call it a bomb on my part. But this is my variation of the seashell technique developed by Petra Gerbracht and Sandra Rettig. I have some inserts in there, which you saw earlier, and I poured a layer of clear, and I let that cure overnight. And then I used, in my first real pour, or second pour, letsresin yellow dye mixed with gold glitter from the letsresin set. Then I used in the next pour orange and bright red from resin dyes, with black holographic glitter from letsresin. And then I used this is not going to be a 13-minute video. I'm trying to do this before I get off to church this morning, and hopefully it'll be cured by tonight so I can pull them out of the mold. The white layer, I used letsresin ocean white paste, just one drop in 3 ounces, mixed with letsresin seashell mica. And I used a lot of that seashell because I like it's not a white color. It's off-white. It's the color of seashells. And then on my clear for the end pour, I didn't just have clear. In fact, I mixed in quite a bit of this pigmently Vegas dust. If you do not have this in your arsenal, you need to get it, and get a big old canister of it. It is gold. You can see the white milky texture in there, but look at that gold dust in there. And I poured from the direction of the insert over it, so I don't have stones or shells or glitter in there. The insert is there, and it was there before everything started. So this is a variation on the seashell technique, but it's a cool variation, I hope. And then that white layer was not moving out as much as I wanted. It was hanging over the insert. So I got a toothpick, and I drew through the resin. It's starting to get gelled already, so I'm not going to do it. But I drew through just a couple little, so it almost looks like rays of the sun. So I just drew through them just like that. And then I popped the bubbles with my heat gun, because stuff wasn't moving as much as I wanted, so I pushed with the heat gun. And I had it all on the video. Man, so bummed that it didn't turn out, or that it got deleted. Hopefully this video makes it, and then I'll be able to unmold it tonight, and hopefully we'll have the Eclipse technique. So we'll see you unmolding time. Well, I am back. I did not want to do the unmolding in front of you, specifically because I was afraid that my inserts would have leaked. Well, so I've taken out a couple of the inserts. Here's one of the inserts I took out. it leaked underneath. So I had, and that's a pretty good thick quality on that one. That one's the same thing. So I did not want to show you all of my travails of pulling all of these off. These larger pieces were actually easier because they didn't have as much leakage. But man, so I'm going to show you, this may end up just being my blooper. I have 2 left to go. That's solid. That one leaked all the way through. That one has a little bit of area right here where it didn't leak. So let me move some of these other ones out of the way so that I can get access to one of these in front of you on the camera. So what I'm doing right here, I'm using my X-Acto knife. I'm cutting down right where that insert is, and I haven't had too much problem except for areas like this where there's that crater effect went all the way through. So I have to cut around that. Ay, ay, ay. Not what I wanted to do for my unveiling. But I don't trust myself enough, and haven't been in resin work too awfully long. To where I want to just unmold everything and go, oh, what a surprise, and it all comes out perfect. Now maybe some of these other people that have been doing it a while don't show you their messes. I don't know. But I thought I ought to show you a little bit of the mess that this is. See, now that part went through relatively easy, but that area right there is going to be tricky getting it around. Now the insert comes off real easy, but it's where it went through, and I had to go around this one because that's just solid resin. I don't want to, and there's still just a touch bendy, so this makes this a little bit easier than if I were to try and do this. Oh, I can't imagine what that would have been like. Okay, now I made some seriously thick inserts because I was trying to get those rocks to get all covered up. And so that was my intent, but like Amanda Togud said, this is a challenge to see what you got. Well, this is what I got, Amanda. Hopefully you'll be impressed when I turn them over. I'll be able to go up to that because that's a solid chunk coming through. Okay. I'm just slicing along this edge. Because there's a little lip, because these inserts did not go all the way to the edge like I had wanted. Had they not been so sticky, I probably would have been able to do a really good job, but man, those things were sticky. Made my life miserable there for a bit. So, but I wanted to get to this part. Okay, I got that side cut down all the way. That one's all the way down. Okay, now, oh, that's going to be a problem. I'll start on this other end. And here's where I have to cut around to preserve that texture I mean, I had a good idea, I thought. Oh, I gotta watch out. X-Acto knives are very sharp. I do not want to go slicing on myself. But a couple things I've learned. When you're making an insert, make sure the hole doesn't go all the way. It doesn't have access to go all the way through. Goodness. Okay, so right through here is an area. Oh, yay. That one came up easy. I see. And then all of a sudden, boom. No. What's the deal here? I'll show you what the deal is. It left that little wall right there. Oh, that's because this guy was, that little crater was there. And then it goes over to this next crater. I may just finish this one off right now and then take these outside to do the unveiling, turning them over and stuff so that you can see that intense chameleon powder at work in the South Texas sun. Why is that one so hard? Oh, it's because I haven't cut around this jobby right here. Well, a piece of that came off there. There's another one of these craters. Hope you can see what I'm doing. I know my hand keeps getting in the way. Got that one loose. Come over to this one. Yeah, there it goes. And that piece off. Okay, so I'll show you this one. Insert coming off. Ta-da! Well, I say it's coming off. There we go. Got it out. Got a little bit of cleaning up here to do. The effect is kind of fascinating if you see it all. Out in the sun, it's going to be really cool looking. So, yep, I got one more to do, then I'm going to take them outside. And the eclipse is starting. And there's the totality. So, not as exciting possibly, but I think it's really kind of cool looking. If I get it on the right kind of display, these would be really nice. So, tell me what you think. This was fun. Thank you, Amanda, for the challenge. Thank you for being my 500th subscriber. And anybody else want to join? Come on. That I brought them inside, I want you to look at that Vegas dust, the way it flowed around through that milky seashell. You know, I'm wondering, I'm not going to do it because I know it would mess it up. If I put those back in the mold upside down from the way I had them and filled them up, if it would look more like that and give it a little bit better look, possibly. I don't know. What do you think? Are these, you know, those little rhinestones, that's the word, sticking in there, give it really kind of a cool effect. Man, that Vegas dust. And those stones, they came out, they did their job. That one's kind of rough around the edge. But yeah, eclipse. Well, I had a discussion with myself. I said, self, that doesn't look good enough with those lines here and that big old dip. If these things ever were sold and wanted to become coasters, not going to be a very good coaster. So I decided, okay, I'll fill it in so that it's level, and maybe even go over a little bit of the other so that it'll have just one level. Problem is, I was using Resin Pro, Art Pro resin, and I ran out. I didn't have enough to do this. Only had half of an ounce, and that wouldn't have done it. So I'm using Counterculture's medium viscosity resin, art resin, to finish this off. And I'm using a little bit of tiny bit of gold holographic glitter and a tiny bit of black holographic glitter. And this is the last video. I may take a picture of what they look like once I pour it in there. I'm not going to get it after they are come all the way out. I may take a picture for posterity's sake after everything's out of the molds, but I think this will be fine. And I thought to myself, well, what happens if the resin I pour in goes down and around underneath? Well, you know, these are in there. They're not going anywhere. And if it does go underneath, that's the bottom side anyway, so it doesn't matter. So, talked myself into it. Well, what do you know? I changed my mind again. I went ahead and poured and filled them all up. But, you know, with that new type of resin that I put in there, I don't know if the other one had not finished curing enough or what, but these two over here, get my finger in there, this one and this one are almost all, they're solid. Exothermic reaction, bam! It's called a flash cure. And these others are still, they're working on getting flash cure, but they didn't get super hot. I found out though, when I put this new resin in the anti-bubble machine that I have, it's a vacuum chamber, not a vacuum pot, but it's a, anyway, ran it out there for about 3 minutes. When I pulled it out of there, it was really hot already. So I don't know what the deal is with this resin, but it cures super fast. So anyway, so now we have a little bit better look of the eclipse, and these can actually be used as coasters. Yeah, cool.